Welcome to the another episode of r/Am I the A-hole? Story is posted by Adept84256. Am I the a-hole for telling my son he needs to get over us missing his wedding? My son got married a few years ago. He lives on the other side of the country than us. He got a great job opportunity after college, so he moved down. 2 years ago he got married to Jenny, and what I heard, it was a beautiful wedding. So the whole issue started when we were trying to get there. The wedding was on Saturday and our plane left Thursday night. Well, it got delayed and then delayed about 4 more times. Friday morning at this point, and then all the plane got cancelled due to a storm. When that happened, it was clear we were not leaving and driving there would take too long, and we would still miss the ceremony. So we informed him, and he was pissed. We sent our well wishes and we could FaceTime him if he wanted. He told us no, and we saw a video of his getting married. Now the present day issue, any times we get an argument, or he wants us to do something, he pulls up we missed his wedding card. We were taking over the phone, we were talking about hosting Thanksgiving this year. He got mad saying, "Why won't you visit us?" And I told him we don't have the money for the trip and we just saw him in July, since it was unclear. Yes, we visited him and went to him. More detail in a comment. We got in an argument and he pulled the "you missed our wedding, it's the least you can do." I told him enough and that he needs to get over it. He called me a jerk. My daughter learned about it as she is on our side, but I don't know. Edit to make it clear in the July part. Also, because it has been asked a lot. Yes, we looked into other airports, the planes were grounded also. We are from Maine and the storm was going through our state and then riding down the east coast. We weren't getting a flight, and yes, we looked. It basically blocked travel for 2 days. If we did go down a state or two, we would be following the storm and we wouldn't get a flight. Second story is posted by Screen1. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister it's her fault her son is being bullied? I'm a girl age of 26 years, and my sister age of 33 years, has 2 sons, Bracken age of 13 years and Neville age of 11 years. My husband age of 24 years and I went to a basket raffle at our local library this past weekend with my sister, Bracken, Neville, Bracken's girlfriend, age of 13 years, and my sister's husband age of 33 years. This raffle is held every year and has many local businesses and organizations donate baskets to help raise funds for the library. There are all sorts of baskets, from free messages to gift cards to sports jerseys and so much more. Bracken got some tickets for all of the sports related ones. He plays baseball and has done this every year, and he's been pretty successful in the past. Bracken then went around with his GF. I was hanging out with my husband, sister, and rest of the family while looking at the baskets when Bracken and his GF came back to us. Shortly after this, while still looking at the baskets, we saw some science Y baskets with projects and books for kids and adults. This type of stuff is what Neville likes. It was going fine until in that section they had a few baskets that were aimed at girls in science STEM. When Neville saw the baskets, he called them stupid and started making some pretty awful comments about how girls are too dumb for science and that's why they needed special baskets. He made some more comments like, "This is why robotics club is all boys." My husband and I just dismissed it, but we could see a few people giving us looks, and Bracken made a comment telling Neville to shut his mouth. The raffle happened. Bracken won a lot, the rest of us didn't. On the car ride home, my hubby and I were asking each other where Neville could have learned that language, and we were stumped. Last night, I got a call from my sister and she seemed stressed. She was telling me about how horrible Neville's first month of middle school was. She was telling me he was being targeted and bullied. I asked her to explain what happened, and she was just crying. I asked if she could give the phone to someone else. She gave it to Bracken, who told us that she wasn't telling the truth. He said that kids were mocking Neville for what he said at the raffle. Bracken admitted he was telling his friends about it, who then spread it around to the 6th graders. Some of the kids in Neville's grade were calling him creepy and weird, and were doing it to his friends as well, who defended his comments. My sister quickly grabbed the phone from him after she calmed down. She asked me what to do. I told her that this was on her and her fault for not correcting Neville's behavior. She said that she didn't know why he said it, and said that she can't just take away his phone or friends. When I mentioned both as a possible source, she just doubled down and said she needed to teach Bracken and his friends not to gossip. I told her she was being ridiculous and hung up. She tried calling back. I didn't pick up. Then I got angry texts. Am I the a-hole? Third story is posted by Ranch Hand Luke. Am I the a-hole for not putting my wife's name on the house deed? She's my fiance right now, but the argument we are having is that once we are married, she wants her name on the house deed. Years ago, I bought several acres as soon as I could afford it. Back then it was part of a ranch surrounded by other ranches. The owner needed money, so he parceled out this section and sold it to me. I built a small house on it and have lived in it ever since. Since it was originally part of a ranch, I did enough to legally keep it classified as a ranch, so the property tax is extremely low. Over the years, companies started to move to the neighboring big city and land prices started to go up. Almost all of the ranchers sold their lands to developers, so now there are huge houses surrounding mine. They start from $500,000 and go to several million. None of them sit on even an acre of land. My house is clearly the worst house around, and I have no doubt it's bringing the value of nearby houses down. That's all happened before I met and dated my fiance. Now that we are engaged, we are talking seriously about our finances and the only sticking point is the house. She wants her name on the deed once we are married, because we'll be sharing our lives. Alternatively, she wants me to sell the house, and we purchase a house together. I don't find either options attractive. In our state, whatever we bring to the marriage we take out. Since I will be bringing the house into the marriage, I can leave with it should things not work out. If I put her name on it, then she'll get half. If I sell the house, there's no way I'll be able to afford anything that's even close to what I have now. Not to mention our property tax will be several times higher. Then there's the drive time. My house is 30 minutes away from my work and 40 from hers. House prices has gone up so much that we'll have to move at least an hour away from our jobs. Like I said, we agreed with or compromised on everything else. This one issue is the only sticking point and it's becoming a big one. So much so that she brought her family into it. This weekend her father took me out to dinner to have a man-to-man talk. He told me that if we are going to join our lives, we have to join everything. He expects me to do the right thing if I want to join their family. So now it's her entire family on one side and me by myself on the other. Am I wrong to want to keep the house I built by myself to myself? Edit 1 to answer a good question. Neither of us are rich. I bought the land at a very low price, but now it's worth 10 times as much. Even if I offer to sell half of it to her at its current value, there's no way she can afford it. That's why if we buy a house together, we'll have to move far from here and our jobs in order to get one we can both afford. Edit 2 to answer some common questions. In all, I spent about $200,000 to buy the land and build the house. Everything is paid off, and I pay the extremely low taxes every year. The tax assessment on my property is about $2 million. I don't know anything about refinancing, but at our salary level, I highly doubt we would qualify. In fact, we've spoken to a real estate agent, and with a 20% down, our salary qualifies us for a $300,000 house. The property tax on a $300,000 house is many times the currently tax I pay now. I'm comfortable with us living in my house and paying all the taxes and maintenance by myself. Edit 3 to answer a common question. Many are asking about my compromise and pointing out a lack of financial security. My compromise is that we live in my house and I will pay all of the taxes, bills, and maintenance costs. Based on our conversation with the real estate agent, if we buy a $300,000 house, her half of the mortgage would be about $1,300, not including her half of the property tax and down payment. I pointed out to her that if I pay for everything toward my current house, she will be saving at least $15,600 a year over 30 years on the mortgage alone. That doesn't include the money she would be saving not paying the down payment and property tax. In my mind, that would give her plenty of financial freedom and security. Also, if I sell the land, I don't want to buy any new house outright with that money. The reason we went to see a real estate agent is that if we buy a house together, I want it to be something we can both afford, mortgage, down payment, taxes divided equally. I would put any money I make off the sale into my retirement account. That's the main reason. Why I haven't sold my land despite many developers begging me to. Yes, some actually begged. I view it as my retirement investment. Fourth story is posted by Interesting Gas 943. Am I the a-hole for making my sister choose between family and career? Pretty much the title. My younger sister is getting married. She is a content creator, influencer, vlogger, whatever you want to call it. One time a few years ago she made a video with my kids at Disney. I gave her permission to post it. I felt really uncomfortable and violated on behalf of my kids afterwards with how many random strangers viewed and commented on my kids, even saying things like that my son is their favorite, like he's a cartoon character, and said not ever again. My sister has been respectful of this for the most part. Occasionally she has tried to hint that such and such dance or prank would be so funny with them. She doesn't spend a lot of time around our kids though, because we live in different states. Here's where the trouble comes in. My sister is getting married. Companies are paying her to use certain items, and she is also getting discounts from some vendors. Obviously this involves quite a lot of the wedding and the lead up to it needing to be posted online. My sister had asked that my oldest daughter, age of 10 years, be a flower girl, junior bridesmaid. Before we asked our daughter if she wants to do it, we asked my sister to confirm that our daughter won't be present in any of the wedding content she posts online. My sister believes this is an unreasonable request. I said it's simple. Just ask the videographer and her fellow content creator friends in the party not to film daughter and take photos with and without her. But my sister feels like this will lead to things looking weird and inorganic, and that it's an unreasonable request for her videographer and her friends. We said even if he accidentally gets her they can blur her face, and it shouldn't be that hard to avoid pointing your phone at one specific person. She disagrees. So we said then unfortunately daughter will not be participating in the ceremony. My wife and I believe this should be easily doable, and it shows that my sister at least partially wants my daughter involved simply because she wants a cute kid to be in the wedding content. However, my sister is framing it as us being terrible and forcing her to choose between her career and our family. The thing is that, as I said, she's not super close with our kids. She's great when she's here, and it's not like I expect a 29-year-old to be overly invested with kids or anything, but it does feel pretty inauthentic to now claim they're so close that it would be heartbreaking if daughter wasn't in it. I just don't view this as having to make a hard choice. Am I the a-hole? Thank you.